Hey guys, it's Sky, and this is Food for Thought. So, if you haven't watched the latest episode of What's So Funny, you should go check it out first before you watch Food for Thought. Oh, wait. Oh, you're back? Cool. Let's get started. So, this Food for Thought, we are gonna really just dive right into it and just talk about mental health, because I did talk about that we're gonna be going to Thrive together this year for the second year in mental health. Really means a lot to me, obviously, because I deal with mental health struggle every day, and I will be sharing my story with Thrive together as well as online. If you did follow me online back in the day, I've shared my mental health story, but I am going to start sharing it on YouTube more. But, the one thing about putting yourself out there, and I will say this, putting yourself out there is a very tough thing to do. The thing is, I've done it before. I've done it on Facebook. I've done it on TikTok. I've put my story out. It's known. People know it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that it is suggested. I'm just saying if you are strong enough to do it then, then do it. Because in some way, it might help you also heal. But again, no pressure. It's just, I've shared my story so many times that I'm used to it. So, here's my story. I have been dealing with mental health issues for a long time. I'm 33. I remember as far back as being, from what my mom said, I think I was dealing with it when I was younger and I was on medicine and stuff, because I have ADHD, bipolar, anxiety, depression, PTSD, fibromyalgia. But I remember far back enough that I always had a mood disorder. I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I knew that I can always control my emotions. Did not know it had a name though. But I knew, and very big trigger warning for people about this next sentence, a very big trigger warning. As I grew up, because my life was so hard between being adopted and not knowing my biological parents, and just the struggles I went through with my mental health and with everything, I was struggling so hard to find my own identity and all that. But I don't even remember how old I was when I made this plan, but my plan wasn't to stay alive past 15. I don't remember when I officially made this plan, but that was my plan. Obviously I'm 33 now, so obviously it didn't go through. But again, if you feel like you are struggling, talk to somebody, call the hotline, go to a hospital and get help. Please. But here's the thing. I am just speaking from my experience. Because you gotta remember, with everything that had happened, I was done. I was done. That was my plan. Now we're gonna fast forward. I didn't know what my plan was after 15, because my plan was to not be here. So my parents kept asking me, what do you want to do for college? What do you want to do for this and this and this? I don't know. I just kept telling them, I don't know. Because my big secret was, I don't want to be here, so I don't really have a plan. I could remember arguments from being in high school. What do you want to do after high school? What do you want to do job-wise? What do you want to do with your life? The hell if I know. I didn't want to be here, but I couldn't say that to them. So it was a very big weight that was on my shoulders for a long time because I couldn't tell them the truth. And that's the thing. Now, I've told this story many times, and this is to bring awareness that not everything on the surface level is what it seems. Because I remember still that I was smiling every day, that I looked good every day, that I looked like I was all there, and I wasn't. But I also struggled in high school a lot because I lost a friend to losing his own life to depression, and so I don't remember everything after freshman year because that's when he did it. So most everything after freshman year is a complete blank slate up here. That's a scary thought that I don't remember most, if not any of it. Do I remember graduating? I know I graduated, but I don't remember any of the year. I know I graduated in 2012. That's about as good as it gets. People do remember me from school, but that's probably the reason I don't remember them is because I wiped sophomore year, junior year, and senior year out of my core memory. So the reason I can identify some people out of the yearbook is because I went to middle school and freshman year with them. So as we get older, I can remember their face. But if it's a core memory out of the yearbook from sophomore year to senior year, I won't necessarily remember it, but I can identify, oh, that's so-and-so and such and such. So now, why am I sharing this story? Why is this important? Because I don't want other people to feel like they are unheard. They need to be silent. And I want people to be heard. I want people to know that they are not alone. Because I'm not gonna lie, with my story, I definitely thought I was alone. I definitely thought that nobody was going to understand what I was going through. And unfortunately, there were 4 other attempts at certain parts of my life that I tried. Obviously, I didn't go through them. But, A, my doctors already know. And B, it's just to bring awareness. That is why Thrive Together is so important to me. Because it brings awareness to mental health. And it tells people that we are not alone in this world. And that if you find help or you reach out to somebody is more than willing to listen. Even though we may not feel like it at the time, somebody is. I know that when I'm going through those emotions during that state, I sure as hell don't think people are willing to listen. I know the racing thoughts and the feelings get really strong to the point that I am losing control. But I know when I come to, I know that the feeling's true and that there is help out there. So I want people to know this is true, that there is help and you can get it. So thank you guys for listening to Food for Thought. This was a special one to me, and I really want people to know that you can get help. It's out there. Either call the hotline, ask your doctor or your local hospital, or of course, or just ask a friend that you trust or a family member. So thank you guys. See you later. Bye.